Hello? Hello? Yo. Chibi. Chibi.
You're
Okay. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is acting up. I don't know. I think because of snow. All right, so we're live right now.
okay. We're good. We're good. So the good thing is, since it comes to audio, right?
Uh-huh.
We can run through logistics and all the fun stuff, and then once we're ready. Go straight through it, and then we can edit. We can cut all the extraness out. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
We need to.
Yo, where are they at?
Where are these?
But you say we need a what?
We definitely need to go through like logistics, what's going to happen, all Yeah. The format, everything, topics, everything. It looks like you're gonna play moderator.
Hype.
So you are Molly Queerum.
Head ass.
Right. That's what you are. You are a girl.
You don't have any hot takes.
I do. I'm good.
No, Corey.
I'm here.
All right,
we're good. Waiting on Chris.
We live. Y'all can see that it says live on y'all end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hold up. No, it says off air.
No, Chibi, relax. It says live. All right. I'll as soon as Christopher gets on.
What is your face? Well, I guess it doesn't matter if your face.
Christmas Eve.
Turn off your phones.
That was me.
And don't message through the Google thing. Well, I guess you can turn the sound off.
No, just don't message through the Google thing.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris, once we get Chris with the ball rolling.
Cross. What's that?
Looked very good indeed, but the move was broken down. Possession in the midfield area. A turnover in play here with that interception.
Hype.
Christopher, you're literally in the conversation, bro.
No, he's not there. He's not there.
No, all he has to do is accept it.
He has to accept it.
All right, Chip, let me put my headphones on. Like I'm sway in the morning.
Me too.
Oh, Steve, you're ugly. All right. Okay. So before we begin, we need to run through some housekeeping, all this fun stuff. So how's this gonna go? Format, Are we doing it like first take? You know, the usual. You know, are we doing it like that?
I think we should just be like generally talking like how we just talking like, you know, regular. But I mean,
The way we talking with that.
like we have an intro, right? Like I mean, shit. Like we have the guideline. We're gonna just go basically loosely off the platform.
The outline.
Yeah, basically. And then
Can you send me the outline? Please.
Just
I think that works. But I think also just for like so that things can be like directed in a certain way. Like it's always good to have someone like kind of directing the outline.
yeah.
I got it.
Moderated.
Yeah, moderated.
Molly.
We should be good.
All right. I remember we're gonna start editing. So I say that. I mean, what is the biggest moment? I don't think that's the Knicks.
No,
Okay. No, it's not the biggest
I
moment.
think.
Okay, go ahead.
I think that if we're, you know, since this is going to be our first thing, I think we dive into the hottest topic, and then we run back. Oh, you know, we didn't get to talk about Super Bowl, so let's talk about it. You know. But the biggest thing right now just happened last night. Charles Oakley.
I don't think Oakley getting into a fight in the Garden is that big, but we can talk about it.
No. But the
Big
thing is,
deal, but it ties into the Knicks.
the whole thing. Yeah, exactly. And it just
It
happened.
ties into what's wrong with the Knicks.
So
that's
you-
what it ties into.
You want people to make sure that they listen again. So you want to
Yeah, I think the biggest piece is Brady's legacy in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I think that
the argument of like where he stands against Jordan and the greatest athletes of all time.
I got it. Let's start Knicks. Let's then, of course, say, well, I mean, I'll transition it, but bad franchise. The antithesis are the Patriots. Then we go on to the Patriots, Super Bowl, Brady. Brady takes us to probably LeBron, which will take us to Steph Curry, and then we'll just kind of flow from there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
So another thing is like a talking stick, right? So we don't, you know, we're on a video thing. We don't want to overlap somebody that's talking, right?
Yeah.
So we need to. I know we want to debate, but we also have to be mindful of who's talking at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why it doesn't hurt to like sort of aim questions at people. Like, so Steven, how do you feel about like, because it just helps us kind of get it helps us get an understanding of like who gets the mic or who's able to talk.
Yeah,
I got you. I listen to I got it. I listen to Liberty Ballers. I got you.
Okay.
Hype.
I got you.
Yeah, he's hype. I hear him.
I say we follow the platform, but we just go whatever comes to our head, and then
just act normal. This is the chat. You don't have to get don't Rashawn Wallace.
No. You have to be. It has to be able to be listened to. So at 110,
Yeah.
I'll start off so when we edit it, we'll cut all this conversation. At 110, I'll be like, hey, what's up, y'all? What's up, everybody? We are here with a brand new podcast based upon the Out of Bounds blog. You've read our articles, you've heard our pieces. Sure, you've seen us on Twitter, and so now we just decided let's go to the next level. And we'll do it.
Does everybody sound clear?
Yeah.
I hear y'all clear.
Okay. All right. Let's get to it.
110, I got you. Just be quiet. I got you.
All right. Say what? What's up with us, David?
Razor bumps.
Fine. Just got the intro music. Yeah, Steve, relax.
What's going on, everybody? I'm sure you've heard about the Out of Bounds blog. You have read our articles. You've seen us on Twitter. And so we decided to go to the next level, and we are starting with our first sports podcast. I mean, you know, Out of Bounds, we talk about everything from sports, athletes, culture, music, race, politics, whatever you want, relationships, all that. And so we're starting a podcast. I'm Corey Johnson. I'm going to introduce you to the rest of the crew.
Steven Yaboa, aka your boa constrictor. Follow me at Twitter. Follow me on Instagram, Daddy Yaboa.
Hey guys, I am Chibi K. Anyatomo, aka Chibi. Twitter name is Chibi Chalando. Follow, please.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Chris Johnson. You can follow me on Twitter at Chris Mike John or on Instagram at Christopher M. Johnson. I'm I'm a little less creative than the rest of the guys, but yeah, we're glad to be here.
Yeah, whatever. Christopher is a political suit. Okay, he's not very creative. So yeah, we're just here to talk. There's a lot going on. It seems like we always get going in the sports year in February for some reason. And if you're a Knicks fan, for sure, you have something to talk about. I don't know if Chibi will be able to talk about anything other than the Wizards today.
Oh God!
but the Knicks, Steven, what's going on with them, man? I watched last night, and I watched the Knicks now almost for comedy. I mean, I have not seen a worse run.
The Knicks are kind of like a soap opera. You're just waiting for the next big dramatic fallout. That's the best way to describe them. I mean, I don't know. Melo needs to part ways and stop. I kind of think Melo's kind of being selfish. He wants to hold on to the Knicks fandom. He sees that his career's at the end of the line and he doesn't want to let go. But what Phil Jackson is doing is very dirty, but it's genius. It's very genius.
It's the Zen Master thing. I mean, he's trying to, use these little outside tactics or little strategies to kind of push Melo out. And we'll see if it works. I don't think I like it. I think that since he's the president of the team, he has the buying power or the decision making that can get Melo traded. If he wants Melo gone, he can actually cut ties with them at any point.
Yeah.
Well, Chris,
so
wait.
I think we all can agree that they need to turn the page, and the Knicks right now are a mess.
Yeah.
I think the issue, though, number one, is that Melo does have a no trade clause, which, I mean, Phil should be fired for giving him that for that alone. But beyond that, I kind of disagree with Steven in this regard. I don't think that Carmelo loves being a Knick. I think Carmelo loves New York.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
I think, I don't think that those two things are the same.
Which is weird because he's from Baltimore. He's not really from New York.
Yeah, he got New York, Syracuse. He's got some New York in his blood. That's he loves the bright lights. He loves it.
I think that his wife likes New York. I think that he likes playing in New York. I think that Carmelo knows that outside of being a Knick for whatever that is, a franchise that's won 2 championships in 70 years and not in the last 40, I think he sees that as some type of, I won't be forgotten. Carmelo in Denver, if he doesn't leave Denver, he's nobody.
Ooh.
In the world of LeBron and Wade. So I think that he likes being in New York. I think that he feels that's something to hold on to.
I think he just hates Phil Jackson. I mean, I don't think he wants to leave. Like you said, he loves the city of New York. He loves what it gives him. But honestly, Carmelo's been playing bad, but he's still playing better than what Phil Jackson's doing in the GM role. You take away Carmelo. All right, what else? You really trust Phil Jackson with moves after this? I think both of them need to be out. Give both of them the bags.
But he didn't do bad with KP. I mean, Derrick Rose hasn't been playing that bad. He's been playing decently. So I mean, I think Carmelo's the problem. Carmelo's the problem. He has to leave. He hasn't done anything for the organization in the years he's been. Carmelo has to go, but he does not want to go.
Carmelo's been there since like February 2011. Yeah, they've won 1 playoff series.
Oh my gosh, that's trash.
That's trash. And I think that they both should be gone. I think that Phil should have never re-signed him in 2014. I've been on the record as saying that. Knicks fans hate me for saying it. They think I'm a hater. I'm not a hater. They shouldn't have re-signed him. You still got Porzingis in the next year's draft at number 4. Who knows? You lose a few more games because you don't have Melo. You probably can get Karl-Anthony Towns. But now they're giving Carmelo like an extra $30 million to make shots in the Garden on a losing team.
This is what happens when the team brass feeds into the pressures that the New York media and just the New York market gets them. So instead of taking the time and being patient and building a roster through the draft and from the ground up around good young pieces like KP and other guys, they felt the pressure and they actually gave into it by saying, okay, we're going to resign Melo because he's going to put butts in the seats. Actually, we're also going to acquire Derrick Rose and a washed-up Joakim Noah because we think that they might attract more fans to come to the games. We might have more primetime games as a result of that. And so like teams got to be a little more patient and a little more forward thinking than just like feeding into the pressure that New York media provides to them. And that's what I mean. This is the results of what this is the results of what happens when they give into that pressure. The Knicks are a mess right now.
Yeah, but I may be in that minority. When I saw these quote unquote big deals, you know, the Derrick Rose, the Courtney Lee, the Joakim Noah. In my head, I thought, you know, okay, this is the Knicks trying to make a push for a playoff spot. You know? Yeah.
And I think you can look at personnel and think, well, this should work. I mean, you have players who are former All-Star, either a former All-Star, Olympian, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. If you look at that just based on paper, you would think that, oh, this team could probably win 48 games and make it in the top 5 seeds in the East. But no, also because they're also trying to force players into a system that doesn't work towards the talents of the players. Like you're trying to do a triangle offense with a ball-heavy shoot-first point guard. That's just not going to work. Yeah. And
let me ask you,
person at the 3. It's just a system that doesn't work for their players.
Well, let me ask you guys this question, and you know this came up. Sola said that there's a report that Cleveland is still begging to get Carmelo. I'm going to start with Steven, then Chris, then Chibi. Steven, does LeBron want Carmelo?
Hell, no, he does not want Carmelo. For what? What does Carmelo bring to the table that Carmelo don't play defense? He don't rebound. Kevin Love rebounds. He plays kind of defense. We saw him stop Curry in the finals. Did you see that pass from last night? Carmelo can't do that. Carmelo can't pass. Carmelo can't stay healthy. No. It's just
honestly,
Frank Isola is trash. LeBron is right. Isola's trash.
Frank Isola. No, I'm with Steven on this one. If I thought about it for a second, I said, oh, it was, you know, the first thought, Melo and LeBron, you know, good friends playing together, teaming together, just like how it looked with Wade and Bron coming together. But I think in terms of like what the team needs and what LeBron James has articulated publicly about what the team needs to do in order to get to that next level, Melo doesn't match that.
No, not at all.
Like Steven was saying, he doesn't rebound at a high level. He's not a great passer. I don't think he shoots a higher percentage at the 3-point line than Kevin Love, and he's not a dog. He's not a dog in the court like he could have been, or like he might have been 8 years ago. So the Cavs need to look towards actually loading up some defenders on their roster to stop Golden State. Perimeter defenders, guys who can fill in for Shump, more perimeter shooters that can fill in for JR while he's out, but not Carmelo Anthony and not that contract.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how you can, I grew up, we all grew up with Melo. We all grew up Melo, the scorer, the shooter. Melo's one of those big time guys. But over the years, listen, Melo is a liability. You bring Melo to the Cleveland Cavs, right? Okay, let's just bring it on matchup. Who is he guarding on the Warriors? Is he guarding Draymond? Is he guarding Kevin Durant?
No.
When Draymond screens for Steph Curry, is he guarding Steph?
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. You just brought on Kyle Korver, who essentially, if he had a better offensive game, he would be just what you're trying to get.
That's a good point.
He went 8 for 9 from the 3-point line.
Exactly.
Dang. Yeah, Kyle Korver is doing his thing.
But you see, Kyle Korver doesn't stay in the game for defense because that's not his role. And you bring in Melo, that's not his role either. Melo doesn't even rebound the ball like he's supposed to. I just don't understand why. You trade Melo somewhere. He's a salary dump. You go get some you go get some young players, get some draft picks.
Yep.
You just dump him somewhere. Amnesty him later. He's overrated.
Where should Melo go? I mean, where's the best place for him to land for his talent to be best rewarded and to help?
He should go play in Europe. He's washed up. The only time Melo is good is in the Olympics when he's playing Puerto Rico.
He's Olympic gold.
The Olympics are his finals. That's his finals.
He said it himself. He's okay with. He's content with gold medals around his neck. He don't want the ring.
He's think that he can land on a team like the Clippers? And
I think Clippers.
The Clippers. The Clippers need to blow that joint up too. But that's a whole nother story.
That's a whole nother.
Let me go here because I got into an argument with Chris about this. let's be honest here. A lot of these NBA players are dogs. People get mad at me for saying this. A lot of them are losers. They're talented, they can score, but they're losers. And I think that what we've done is we've kind of almost made it like we expect LeBron to ascend. We expect, the Currys of the NBA to ascend. And we already put them in the finals. But there are 24 All-Stars in this league. There are a few future Hall of Famers in this league. And we don't expect them to ever win. Carmelo is, to me, and this is in my opinion, Carmelo is Chris Paul. Carmelo is Damian Lillard. Carmelo is all these other guys, Paul George, who we're not going to remember, who are never going to compete for championships, who are just good NBA players. And I think that they're fine with just being that. I do believe that. I think that they're losers.
But everybody can't be LeBron. Everybody,
exactly.
That's such a, I don't know.
Listen, there's a reason. There's a steep hole that people have to climb. Football, there's Brady. Rodgers are the top tier quarterbacks in the NFL. Those guys are the ones you find those guys for another 20 years. So you're gonna be stuck with your Kirk Cousins. You're gonna be stuck with your Carson Wentz, your Blake Bortles. You're gonna be stuck with those guys who can get you to the playoffs. Your Alex Smiths. They can get you there, but it's gonna take a lot more because they're not gonna get you to the chip on their own. So we gotta stop expecting the Paul Georges, the Melos of the world to say, "Hey, this is your team. Take us to the chip." Okay, they want to get there, but they're not. They're just not. They're not LeBron.
No,
they're not.
No. And I'm gonna go here. Carmelo could have been a player that played on a championship level team. 2006, LeBron and Wade said, "Don't resign. We're all gonna wait out for our contracts." And in 2010, we'll all be free agents together.
Did LeBron tell you
that? Everybody knows. Everybody knows the original big three was LeBron, Wade, and Melo. It was not Bosh. Everybody knows that.
I never heard that.
It was LeBron, Wade, and Melo. Listen, if I'm lying, I'm dying. It was LeBron, Wade, and Melo. But of course, Carmelo makes a bad career decision. 2014, Carmelo's a free agent. What does he do? He could have gone to Houston. He could have gone to Chicago and played with Rose.
Sure.
Enjoy. What does Carmelo do? Carmelo signs an extension in New York with no plan of signing another free agent. DeMarcus Cousins becomes a free agent, re-signs in Sacramento, and then spends the next 3 years complaining about how he hates it there. Paul George does the same thing. These players, and I'm telling you, they don't care to play on a championship level team. They want to make their money and get their stats.
I see your point now.
They're losers. Listen, I hate Durant. I hate Durant for going to Golden State. But I respect that the man made a career decision that said, "I want to hoist a championship."
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's just hard for me. It's just hard for me to call players losers. It's just like yes, there are some players that are all in for the bread. DeMarcus Cousins. They're not going anywhere ever. But there are. I think like for instance, Paul George was on teams where they were essentially neck and neck with Miami Heat, LeBron's Miami Heat team. I feel like
never. I don't think Paul George should be put in that pile. Paul George wants to win. He's a fighter.
He does. He does. But let me say this about Paul George. They were never neck and neck with Miami.
No.
I think there was one point in time where
they competed.
A lot of trouble. They gave a lot of trouble in the playoffs.
They had neck and neck. When you have to play a perfect game to get close to beating a team and still lose, you're still not neck and neck. When you have to play perfect for 7 nights, like if you can even have an off night and still win, then it tells you a lot about your team. Cleveland, Golden State.
Well, talking about playing perfect and being perfect, let's transition about being perfect and almost winning. What about that Super Bowl?
Oh my gosh.
That's the worst. That's the biggest choke in sports. Nothing comes close to it.
Choke is such man.
Wait, let's stay here. Is there a bigger choke that you've ever seen than the Falcons on Sunday?
3-1. We saw it last summer. 3-1.
Nah.
We saw it. That's what you call a choke.
No,
that's what you call a choke.
It was a big choke, but I don't think it was as well. Let me say, when it comes to chokes versus like a comeback, there's a level of expectancy that doesn't surprise you when a team comes back. Like when Brady went down, and we saw that it was a 25-point deficit going into the middle of the third quarter. There was something in all of us that still believed that if given the chance, while there's still time on the clock, Brady could come back. Even last year, when the Cavs were down 3-1, we felt that if LeBron were to get into Superman mode like he had done before, there's a chance that he could come back. And so I think that's also an element of it that has this expectancy that, like, be bad. Things look really terrible, but, like, we get the greatest player in that sport at the time, like LeBron James or like in Tom Brady or going back to Michael Jordan. Those great players always, no matter what, always give you a chance to win, no matter where you're playing, no matter the circumstances. And so you got to give it to Tom Brady, man.
Listen, I when I was watching the Super Bowl, it's third quarter, it's 28-3. I'm sitting there where I was at. There was people ready to go to Atlanta. They were planning out gas money. They were ready to go.
I saw a tweet. Somebody said, "I'm driving into the city right now." It was halfway through the second quarter.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the turnaround? That's the biggest U-turn in history. Right?
I don't, Steven, would you agree? And this is what I'm thinking. I don't know if I think this was Brady's greatest feat. I think this was the greatest feat I've ever seen of any athlete in a single game. But Atlanta shouldn't have lost that game.
No.
I mean, as great as Brady was,
there are two sides to that coin.
2 runs, this game is over. 2 runs up the middle, the game is over.
Yeah. Julio Jones had that amazing catch on the sideline, and when he caught it, when he showed the replay, and we confirmed the catch, I thought the game was over. I actually knew the game was over.
Exactly.
I said, and then I saw them get into the shotgun. I said, okay, they're gonna do a handoff draw, and no, they decide to drop back and throw it, and there's a sack, and then following that, there's a holding call.
Listen,
and punting.
Listen, the game falls on the coaches and the defense. Everybody on the defensive side should be fired. Every single one of them fired.
Release.
They're calling for Kyle Shanahan's job in the 49ers. That's how bad his offensive.
Well, the defensive coordinator was fired, but I kind of disagree, Steve. Yeah, he was fired. He was
the coordinator.
Yeah.
The coordinator was fired.
Yeah. Hey, that's why Arthur Blank. I respect him.
But Steve, let me say this, and I kind of don't agree with you. I don't agree, and I'm going to tell you why about the defense and the coaching. Matt Ryan, you cannot take that sack. Matt Ryan needs to coach the team up. Matt Ryan needs to audible for a run. You're the MVP. You're the top pick in the draft, number 3, I think, overall. You've choked away many games. There's no way in hell Peyton Manning or Tom Brady is losing that game with that kind of lead. Yeah. Peyton Manning in last year's Super Bowl knew to run the football. Yeah. Matt Ryan to me, and I said this, Matt Ryan is like the Chris Paul of football. It's like he's great athlete, but you know he don't have it. I watched the NFL films replay. The whole time, I mean, Brady, they're coming back. Matt Ryan sitting on the sideline by himself, staring at the Jumbotron like he was facing the jig. I'm yelling to the camera, say something, go to your defense, huddle them up. And he was just standing there alone like a deer headlights. And to me, that's what separates players. It's not just performance. It's knowing the moment, knowing how to respond to. Brady doesn't lose that game. Peyton Manning does not lose that game. They run the ball 3 times, they're kicking a field goal.
You can't put the game on Matt Ryan, though. He doesn't play defense.
I can't.
Put the game. You put it on defense. That's why defensive coordinator was fired. You can't put that on Matt Ryan. But hear me. Just because he's not yelling at his players doesn't mean he's not. Tom Brady and Matt Ryan are 2 different personalities. You can't compare that. That's
true.
And there's a difference between someone who's great and good. It could be personality, it could be intangibles. But Tom Brady, if there's a chance where the team might lose, and they see that momentum is driving them towards going from a win to a loss, Tom Brady will be smacking with his offensive linemen, going up to the linebackers, talking them up, coaching them up. Bill Belichick will have them all gathered in a circle. Yeah. That's what you do.
That's personality. Eli Manning wasn't doing that. Eli Manning's not doing that with his players.
Eli Manning he's a fluke. He just gets like.
Yeah,
I can't even credit him as a leader.
There are no lessons you can learn from Eli Manning. You appreciate his teaching, But let me say this, Steve. The time of possession was 50 minutes to 20.
Yeah.
Oh my.
50 to their defense was on the field the whole second half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they were listen, if you hold Brady to 3 points, and this is my opinion. If you hold Brady to 3 points through 3 quarters, you deserve to win the damn game. That's what I believe. I can't put it on the defense.
I just don't.
Then that's coaching. Then why is he throwing the ball still? That's
coaching.
You have two nice running backs.
That's execution. Pass to get the big Julio Jones play, right? You can't. I mean, listen. Yes, Kyle Shanahan should get some blame. The defensive coordinator should get a lot of blame.
Kyle Shanahan should get all the blame. You love him. That's why you don't want to say the truth.
Listen, Kyle Shanahan isn't out there getting holding calls.
Oh my God!
Holding the
why is he still throwing the ball to you? Take your fandom out of this for one time.
Yeah, Redskins homer.
No. Listen. Yes, Kyle Shanahan should get some blame, but listen, we're not going to sit here and not blame the left tackle for going offsides. I mean, holding. Yeah. We're not going to blame. We're not going to sit here and not blame Matt Ryan for not knowing that you got one free man on the blitz that's coming to sack you, and then turning over the ball on top of that.
But wait, Chibi, and let me respond to that. If you're not pass protecting, you can't hold. If you're not dropping back, you can't get sacked. If you run the ball twice, you win the game.
I do agree. 3rd and 1 should be a run call.
It was 3rd and 1.
The Falcons' thinking was, well, if it's 3rd and 1, yeah, you definitely have to run the ball. We know that, even in hindsight or even at that moment. But I think that there are times where we see a team might become more conservative as they grow into a lead, and it bites them in the behind. And then you'll see reports afterwards that, like, yeah, they should have taken the gas cut. They shouldn't have taken the gas off the team. They should have kept going. Should have kept throwing, try to run up the score. And it's kind of like it feels like it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't. And they did, and they were still damn.
I just think the Falcons coach overthought it. Basically, like how Pete Carroll overthought it.
No, but you also need a little bit of luck. Mm-hmm. Also, you have to have a little.
Like the Edelman catch. That was pure luck.
Edelman doesn't make that catch. Yes. The game is over.
Yes.
The game is over.
It's the greatest catch of all time. Yeah, I think it tops.
Well, no, let me say this. It was 1st down, and Brady was moving the football. It was 1st down. They still win that game, whether or not the catch. But let's go here. Let's go here for a second. Let's go here for a second. What does this mean for Tom Brady? Does this make him? And I'll start with you, Steve. Does this cement him?
He's the greatest human to ever touch a football. That's it.
There you go.
There's no argument.
Okay.
Terry Bradshaw shouldn't be mentioned in the same breath as him.
When would he ever? No, I think now you have to call Tom Brady the greatest quarterback of all time. Without a doubt, without a question. In terms of longevity, stats, wins, Super Bowl wins, all levels, every single area of the game, at his position, he's the best. He's the greatest. No
I goofed up in the beginning of the season, and you guys remember I made a comment saying that Tom Brady's happening is all because of Bill Belichick.
No, say it what you said. You called Tom Brady a system quarterback.
I did.
Don't try to fluff it up. You called him a system quarterback. I want the world to know this nigga Chibi called Tom Brady.
I called him the greatest system QB I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
Yes, because Bill Belichick. My reasoning because Bill Belichick was this guy's so amazing. Look what Jacoby Brissett.
What did Bill Belichick do with the Browns? What did he do with the Browns?
Okay, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I goofed.
That's it.
I called.
Okay.
Listen. I messed up. Tom Brady is the best quarterback, first of all, I've ever seen. Probably, arguably, one of the top 2 or the best athlete I've ever seen. You know, for a guy to be 40 years old and come back from 25 in a Super Bowl, you're not going to see that from anybody else.
Nope,
I don't think.
So, I mean, Brady, we all can agree is great. One thing else we've learned is that Brady's politics are trash. You know, it was interesting to hear the conversation surrounding Tom Brady and his support of you guys, President Donald Trump. And they seem to have a strong friendship. Chris, how do we you know, we're all, I'll be honest, we're all pretty left leaning for Out of Bounds on this podcast. You know, we are. So, Chris, how do we kind of deal with, is it possible to root for a great player and still hate their politics and view them as a supporter of a racist, bigoted, misogynistic president? How do we deal with that?
So we've had this conversation leading up to and even following the Super Bowl, and it's interesting. The conversation surrounding the matchup between the Patriots and the Falcons, if you followed on Twitter and other spaces, became saying that, like, if you were rooting for the Patriots and you were rooting for Donald Trump, you're rooting for racism and bigotry. And if you're rooting for the Falcons, or some people decided to root for the Falcons because somehow they presented themselves to be the antithesis towards Trumpism and nationalism and patriotism in 2017 America, which I think is interesting. But for me, I just couldn't agree there. And me personally, I believe, I studied political science in college, and I work in the field in various ways. And so, like, I love politics, I love sports, and I see where there are intersections, because people are humans, people are citizens, they have opinions, they have beliefs, and they have actions that have ramifications on both sides. But, like, if I continue to twist and bend and twist and turn and continue to conjoin all of these things together, then I personally will lose my mind. I think that every Super Bowl matchup, every game, every player, every statement that a player might make in sports has to do with some sort of political stance or some point of view. Me being the person who follows both so intently and passionately, I will lose my mind. And so for me, I need to have some sort of sanctuary that separates the two. And so yeah. I don't like Tom Brady's friendship. I understand it. He had that hat that said "Make America Great Again," that red hat in his locker room. I find it to be disgusting. But on Sunday, when I was watching a football game that I love, the Super Bowl, I saw a great player make great plays in one of the greatest Super Bowls of all time. And I can recognize him for that, as well as the fact that I can recognize him I can talk about the politics and recognize the things that I disagree with him. We live in paradoxes. And I think that it's important to recognize those paradoxes, but also to be healthy in our minds and being able to decipher the differences between the two. That's my take.
Steve, anything on that, man?
Nah, not really. I think Chris said everything for me.
Yeah, Chris kind of he summed it up there.
But we were talking about it. Like, I recognize the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms. For a person who lives in an inner city and who lives in Philadelphia, I'm not a huge fan of handguns, and I do believe that there should be some reforming legislation.
What do you people use? What's the term you people use? Common sense gun laws.
Common sense gun laws. That's all that good stuff. But my quarterback for the Eagles is Carson Wentz, and he's from where is he from? South Dakota? From
North Dakota.
Yeah, and he is a big fan of hunting. He has guns. He even during the Christmas break provided his offensive linemen with guns as a Christmas gift. Like, he's really big into it. And for me, it's kind of strange, but like I understand where he comes from. I understand his point of view, but also as a sports fan, I don't care. Yeah. If he's not killing people. And if that's his beliefs, I disagree with it, but I want this guy to perform at a high level, and I want him to get me a parade down Broad Street in Philadelphia. That's what I care about right now. That's why
I think it's strange for Carson Wentz that he actually gave his offensive line a gift, because they were trash this year. That's what I think.
That's a good point.
Maybe these guns will help you shoot them defensive linemen that keep sacking me. Because it's trash.
Yeah, I don't know if we condone violence, Jimmy, but
paradoxes, man.
You know, as a Redskin fan, I understand the anger.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Corey. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
The only thing I have the problem with the Brady thing is, like, people are mad at Martellus Bennett, former Bear, that he's not going to the White House, and some of his other black teammates aren't going. But when Brady didn't go to Obama's house, when Obama was in the White House, they were like, "Oh, it's fine, whatever. Brady has the right. But now when Marty doesn't want to go visit visit Trump, it's like a big deal. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's stupid to me, but
And the thing is that Brady, I mean, throughout Brady, he's a coward. He never said why. A real reason why he didn't go visit Obama. And we know why Bennett and I think it was McCordy said that he's not going to Trump's White House. It's because they think that Trump is a racist and a xenophobic bigot who's incompetent. And they'll say that.
Yeah.
So it's not Barack skipping out on Barack and skipping out on Donald are two different things. They're not the same, and we can't give them like they're equal. They both have the same right, but I don't respect both decisions equally. I'm sorry.
I don't, but I also believe that like if you have a reason behind it and you have a true belief as to why you don't want to, or you want to decide against visiting the White House because of the views of the president or whatever view you might have the president, articulate that. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, if Brady or I think one of the hockey players who skipped out and said, well, I am not visiting the White House because I believe in this and I can't stand for the beliefs that the president holds, and that's why I'm not going. And I may disagree here with him. Me personally, I may disagree with the person's point of view, but I can respect it. I can respect Martellus Bennett's point of view because he articulated it.
I was on that topic of sectionality of politics and sports. Steph Curry, I was surprised that Steph Curry kind of responded. You heard about Under Armour.
Yeah.
And Under Armour saying that Trump is an asset, and Curry said, I don't know if I would add the et.
Yeah.
Basically calling Trump an ass. I was surprised by that. I didn't really view Steph. I'm a LeBron fan, so I don't really like Steph and Curry. But I was surprised by that statement. Steph doesn't seem to be one to really be out there like that. And so I was surprised by that. I was pleasantly surprised.
That was clever on his point. I mean, but
Very
is it? I wonder if he would say that if he was under Nike. I think he's kind of saying that because Under Armour is basically tanking. Their sales are really bad right now. And like you said, Steph Curry's not really a guy to stand up and be a political activist like LeBron or any other. Much.
No, but I think you can make those comments.
Wait, let me finish. I do respect him for saying that about Trump. I do respect him, but I think it's more that he's trying to get out of Under Armour. Because let's be honest, Under Armour is trash. Only
it's
people that wear those camouflage. You know what I'm talking about? Those hunters that wear that. No.
And beyond just the point of calling Trump an ass, he also talked about. He said that if Under Armour has views that it doesn't reflect what he believes in or something like that, then he'll have to make some changes or something along those lines. And I can respect that.
I respect it.
Yeah, like come forward and I think one of the things that we've got to talk about in our society is that like people have got to be comfortable with have to be able to be comfortable with their views and be able to express them in a respectful way, so that people can kind of see where they're coming from and take the argument however they want to take it. And I think more times we're seeing people do that, but also we've seen in the past, either on Twitter or in other instances where people are just saying like really, really bad, toxic hot takes or providing bad language towards some of the most pressing issues. So I say your views in a respectful manner and we can have a better dialogue, but like we don't see that enough.
Going back to what Steve said, I think Steph has the leverage, just like LeBron, number one at Nike.
Yeah.
Steph is the number one guy, So, like LeBron, he's very vocal, like these days when it comes to anything political or like anything social.
Anything. He's vocal about anything right now.
LeBron is unleashed and unhinged.
He's unhinged.
He's unhinged now. I don't know what type of juice he be drinking in the mornings, but he is talking now.
Yeah,
it's called Three Rings.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Nah, he but I just wonder, like, say Nike came out and said, something similar to these lines. What would LeBron say? And would Nike even think about jumping ship with LeBron?
Wait, what are you saying? Are you saying that if Nike supported Trump?
If Nike came out and supported Trump, how would LeBron react? And even if you reacted the same way as Steph, you know, would Nike do anything? I no. That's the same way Under Armour is gonna handle Steph. Like we're not gonna, you know, he is their probably their number one leading salesman right now.
Yeah.
You know, that he can virtually say whatever he wants, you know, and not get a lick of punishment, anything from Under Armour. They would never even think about dropping Steph. You know,
I think
they just get all the leverage in the world. You know.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's interesting that going back to the Patriots with Brady and Bennett. Bennett clearly has clear, defined politics on Trump. Brady does too. They're both teammates and won a Super Bowl together, and I think that's meaningful. You know what I'm saying? I think that only the Patriots can have a tight end who can't stand the president and a quarterback who appreciates the president. Both play together and win a championship together.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that they're in meeting rooms talking about your stance on Obamacare. I don't think that's what Belichick is about. I think that when they go into that building, it's all football all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, I mean, sports is a sanctuary. So we've seen two different franchises. We started off talking about the Knicks and ended talking about the Patriots. I don't know if you can find two more different franchises. I want to ask you guys. By the trade deadline, just one word answers. By the trade deadline, is Carmelo still a Knick?
No.
Yes. And let me give you my reason why. Carmelo will be a Knick for life. I think he's gonna retire a Knick. That's how like selfish he is. Like he's not. Phil Jackson's like, yo, leave. Phil Jackson's treating him like, you know when you want to break up with your girlfriend and you try to break up with her, she's like, I'm not leaving. That's what's happening right now. Carmelo's not leaving. Carmelo will retire a Knick.
I cheated on you. I forgot your birthday on purpose. I got a whole other chick already.
Exactly. I'm not.
I ain't going nowhere. This baby is ours.
Yeah.
They just trying. Listen, but Melo's gonna go. You know, they're gonna do a lot of talking during All-Star break, and he's gonna be gone. I predict it's gonna be a wild card team. I don't know if it's gonna be the hot teams like Cleveland and LA. I think it's gonna be a wild card team.
If he does get traded, I don't see it till the summertime. I don't think he's gonna get traded during the season.
Well, I think the Knicks need to decide whether they want to be a playoff team or they want to get a high draft pick. And if I think they're closer to getting it's in their best interest to go after getting a higher draft pick than trying to be an 8th seed in the East. Yeah. And if they're trying to be an 8th seed in the East, they'll probably try to keep Carmelo Anthony. But even in that chase, they will lose. They should cut ties with the assets that don't bring them that will give them a chance to have a higher draft pick, and they'll work out better in their favor. But they gotta let Melo go.
But it's too late. They've won too many games. Like they're in the worst part you could be as a sports franchise. They're like in the middle. They're in the middle.
They've done this before. You can lose you can lose the rest of your game. You can lose in February and March.
I think the Knicks are closer to doing halftime shows of Phil Jackson and a death match with Charles Oakley. And I think Oakley. And I'll be honest, I think than trying to watch Derrick Rose and Carmelo Anthony run a pick and roll.
These guys are terrible. Oh my Lord.
Yo, but why is Oakley so strong at 53 years old? Like, why is he so strong? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like,
did you see that? Oh my God.
It took 7 grown men to take him down.
And he pointed his finger at that dude. I was like, dang, that's disrespectful. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh, Charles Oakley.
So,
goats.
I mean, listen, you've hit rock bottom when a Wizards, Bulls, and Sixers fan can make fun of your franchise.
Oh gosh.
And you have nothing to say about it.
Well, we can talk about the Bulls. We can talk about the Bulls next episode because
let's not.
I don't think it'll be much to talk about. There won't be nothing left.
Yeah, it's like the Rondo and
y'all
Oakley.
Y'all can all talk about my Wizards though. We can talk about that later.
Okay, we're gonna close up. We're gonna kind of end up now. We just want you guys to know that we are still writing, some of us, and
yeah.
But we'll be back. We're back. I have a lot of hot takes, and so does I'm sure Chibi. And so, but keep subscribing. We're gonna try to do this each week. Send us in, whether on Twitter, or on our actual website. You can email us, send us your topics, your thoughts, and all that stuff, and we'll be glad.
If you want to be a guest, if you want to be a guest too.
Yeah, if you want to be a guest, for sure, we need guests, and so we're looking forward to it. And that is about it. Take care, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right.
Out.